I've been in Hong Kong for the past 2-3 weeks for Chinese New Year. Recently, one of my highlights actually, I went to the Chinese University of Hong Kong in the graduate program, and I was invited to share my experience with them. 蛇年事事如意。鼓掌。It was one of my highlights in the past 3 weeks. If I travel back in time to talk to my 22-year-old self and to whoever who's in their 20s, I want to tell you, life is shaped by yourself, and you should trust that life will take it to where you want to be, even though not in a straight line, even though it might be hard at times, even though sometimes you wouldn't be able to see a road and you can make a road at the end. And after 5, 10, 15 years, when you look back, that will be the most rewarding journey that you have ever taken on. Have you ever thought about if your future self can travel back in time, what kind of advice that you would give it to yourself? Sharing my experience with those 22-year-olds, it gives me some kind of time travel kind of experience that it feels like it's me travel back in time to give the advice to my 22-year-old self. And just by chance, because nowadays in China there's this movie called Ne Zha. It's about a story that a kid that has superpower, and he went on this adventure at the same time. Friends have saved his family and his hometown. It's become a huge success. One of the key slogans of that movie is that
I'm the master of my destiny. I'll be the one who decides, and I will not be a demon!
Your fate's what you want it to be. No one else gets to decide what you are. My father taught that to me.
If you ask me whether a person can alter their fate, well, I don't really know, because a boy named Ne Zha forever changed his.
With the students, I also use the concept and this movie. The only thing is your mindset, how you think about yourself. Nobody can actually tell you what to do with your life, and you need to be in control of your life. The whole 60 minutes, I asked them what they are aspired to for the next 5 years, what's bothering them. Everyone is worried about the same thing. It's like how to make money, how to get a job, how to find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And I asked them to imagine themselves in 5 years. They all seem to solve that problem. So today, I just wanted to share these 10 tips, and together with some of my favorite quotes and this movie. Today, I just want to use this video to share these 10 tips that I would love to give to my 22-year-old self and share with you. If you're 22-year-old, this is the video that you should watch. So tip number 1 is life is not a straight line. What I would want to tell my 22-year-old self at the time, I like those students in CUHK also want to make the most amount of money at the shortest amount of time, as quickly as possible, as fast as possible. But just as that, there's one scene in this movie, Ne Zha, he was questioned by the Dragon King.
那又怎样？难道你还想改变这世界？
I would love to tell my 22-year-old self that I can change the world, but it seems so big and daunting. It took me a lot of twists and turns to get to where I am, and still haven't changed the world. But I'm trying to create an impact that can change other people's mindset so that they can change the world slowly and bit by bit. Life is not a straight line. You always get to somewhere if you have a direction to go, but it doesn't mean that you get there straight like in a year or in 5 years or even in 10 years. Lesson number 2 is confidence isn't something you're born with, it's built. So when I was 22, I have never imagined that I can one day actually come back to the campus and actually share my experiences with the students who are studying financial engineering. I wasn't even that good at this course, and also I wasn't able to get into this program, this prestigious program, very competitive. But as of now, I'm comfortably and confidently sharing my experience with these students. It just made me realize anything that's a skill can be built. Doing YouTube actually helps. The camera confidence actually helped me to become more confident, even speak publicly. The other is I just gave myself a lot of opportunity to fail, and also to tolerate those awkward moments. And I want to tell my 22-year-old self, you'll be confident at one day, and you just didn't know yet. You need to try as many times as you can, and you'll be there. So tip number 3 is take action even when you don't feel ready. The biggest shift now I have is I know that I wouldn't know all the answers before I try. The best thing to start is just to do it. You will never have this perfect moment, and you cannot escape for the problems in your life. You just have to face it. And there's one quote in this Ne Zha movie. It says, I used to hide and run away.
以前我一直在抖，在藏，直到无路可走。 我才明白该如何面对这个世界。
If I were to go to talk to my 22-year-old self, I would tell her, if there's a problem in your life that you think that is so difficult, you just wanted to escape, actually the best way is to face it, to see what you can do about it. You can improve little by little, slow, bit by bit, and at one point, you'll be able to solve it. And it's actually usually takes shorter than you think. And tip number 4 is find what truly lights you up. This is the one thing that I recently just realized, because I'm doing something I'm very passionate about. So every single day I wake up, I just fill with energy. Whoever I talk to, whatever I do, all those ideas, no matter whether it's content creation or my startup idea, or just to share a little bit of my experience and help more people as much as I can, because all of these are something that truly lights me up. That's something when I wake up in the morning, I'm ready to continue work on it. Now I don't feel like I'm tired all the time. So I would tell my 22-year-old self, find what lights you up. You'll be able to continue on it. There's one quote from this movie. The Dragon King used to be very restrictive. He has a lot of rules and he wants to protect his son, well, understandably. But at the very end, he actually told his son,
父王只是想用自己的经验为你谋个幸福，但现在看来，父辈的经验毕竟是过往，未必全对呀。你的路还需你去闯，今后。 忠于自己内心的选择吧。
And that's what something I share with the students as well. I was like, no matter how fancy you look at these people who come to share with you, we're just like a little bit ahead on the journey, and our experience doesn't necessarily 100% match with what you need to face. But if you find what you're passionate, what lights you up, you'll be able to deal with it no matter what, no matter how difficult it is. And tip number 5 is there's no right path, just the one you create. The same as life is not straight, and there's also not a single path that can lead to whatever that you want. Nobody actually have the crystal ball to tell you like, oh, this is what's gonna happen in 5 years, in 10 years. And there's also sometimes in the fast, rapidly changing world, there's no a sample or template to follow. You just need to make up your own road, and you should trust yourself that you can do it as well. If nobody is trusting you now, just think about someone who is 10 years ahead of you. And maybe that could be your future self. Maybe just think of me. I trust you. You can do it. So this actually type to tip number 6. When the road ends, make your own. So when you're 22, you feel like you have a straight line. When you're going through middle school, high school, university, master program, just need to be excel at all of those exams, and then your level of efforts is measured by GPA. And then after you get into the corporate world, there's also a lot of like KPIs and 360-degree evaluations. However, sometimes a straight path at the end of it could be a dead end, and it could happen. I'm going to tell my 22-year-old self, the road that seems so straightforward and easy, sometimes it can end. Also, doesn't matter when it ends. When it ends, make your own road. If nobody is inviting you to a party, invite other people to your party. Do something that you enjoy. Make it as even the simplest, most boring thing can be interesting to other people's eyes if you are truly passionate about it and you enjoy it, and the energy you bring to the room will be very, very different compared to you just follow other people's lead. Tip number 7 is trust the process. Answers come with time. I didn't have all the answers when I was in Hong Kong, like when I started my career in 2015 here. And certainly there are so many instances, no matter in life or work, learn how to communicate with English in a professional way, learn how to deal with situations in life like breakups, layoffs, and all of those stuff. But surprisingly, I feel like I always can't find the answer. So if I were to travel back to talk to my 22-year-old self, I would tell her, you'll be fine, and trust the process. Just need to be 1% better every day. And tip number 8, be bold enough to dream and to try. There is this quote in this movie I really, really love, is when the young Ne Zha just say that, I want to try.
我想试试。
He also told his friend, I know that you will come back because we're so young, we don't know how big the world is.
我知道你会回来的。为什么？因为我们都太年轻，不知天高地厚。
That's the beauty of being at 22. If I were to travel back to talk to my 22-year-old self, I would tell her, the world is so big and you have just scratched the surface. And the good thing is you're already starting to try. And no matter how other people talk to you and tell you that this is not possible, that's not a safe move, actually you should try it, as long as you're following your own passion and you know that even if you fail, you gain the experience way more than if you don't try. So just try. Tip number 9 is, very importantly, uncertainty isn't your enemy, it's actually your teacher. One of the things that nowadays I'm very different compared to even 2-3 years ago is now I know for sure the only certain in life is uncertainty. So there's so many things that can go wrong, and there's so many things time and time again it has been wrong, but just because of that, I learned how to deal with those uncertainties, and I have become more and more confident in life, no matter what's going to come next. If I travel back in time and talk to my 22-year-old self, I would tell her, you always be afraid of not knowing what's going to happen, but actually that's the beauty of life. Just trust yourself, trust life, and keep at it. Learn from the uncertainties, learn from the failures, and learn from the mistakes. And finally, tip number 10 is shape your own destiny. Well, it's actually kind of like the theme of the whole video and also the movie. That's why I love it so much. This figure, he was born as someone who's not fit into the norm, but he has this superpower. He felt like he doesn't fit in.
都是狗屁！你是谁，只有你自己说了才算。这是爹教我的道理。
It took him a lot of time to figure out his fate, and eventually he come with this epiphany that his fate is actually shaped by himself, and he has the power to define the destiny.
不认命，就是哪吒的命。
If I travel back in time to talk to my 22-year-old self and to whoever who's in their 20s, I want to tell you, life is shaped by yourself, and you should trust that life will take it to where you want to be, even though not in a straight line, even though it might be hard at times, even though sometimes you wouldn't be able to see a road and you can make a road at the end. And after 5, 10, 15 years when you look back, that will be the most rewarding journey that you have ever taken on. And this is the sharing I want to share with you. If you have never watched the movie Ne Zha or have never heard of it, it's one of my favorite now. It's like all-time favorite now in China. Everyone is watching it. It's like around 850 million or something as of now for the box office. It's one of the highest single region box office movie ever exists. So it has all the great elements, the animation, but you don't have to be a kid to love it. Everyone can take away something from it. And if you're 22 now, you feel lost, you don't know what to do, you feel like it's hard to find a job, all of those kind of stuff. Trust me, life will take you to where you want to try. As long as you say, my life is defined and shaped by myself. If you like this video, you might want to check out this video as well. It talks about how to use networking and get a dream job. And I will see you in the next video. I hope you have the best years to come.